Guys, you know that when I have to criticize Flamengo's management, I do it. What a blunder by Flamengo's management. If tomorrow there are more Fluminense fans than Flamengo fans, the blunder was on the management. The pricing was terrible. Flamengo didn't know how to properly sell the tickets for the final. It's the Carioca final. And even though people say the Carioca doesn't matter, it does. It's the 40th Carioca title. Flamengo could be champion for the 40th time. It's a three-peat. Flamengo fans always have to be the majority in the stadium. We already know how Fluminense is, and Flamengo's management isn't stupid. They're not naive. They know that Fluminense sells their tickets to club members for next to nothing, and they only have that check-in for the higher tier plans. To top it off, the Tricolors had sold out their tickets, and they really believed, given Flamengo's current phase, firing the coach and everything else. But the Fluminense fans, knowing that the Flamengo supporters hadn't bought everything, were waiting for sales to open to the general public. The Fluminense fans agreed to go on the website that sells Flamengo's tickets and buy in the mixed section, since they know they can enter the mixed section. And there won't be any control over how many Fluminense fans. So if they really manage to do this, they'll have more fans in the mixed section. All because of the slip-up by Flamengo's management, and this kind of situation makes you... I'm not going to say we're going to lose, because God willing, we'll be champions, but this is important. It's a slip-up. It's a slip-up. We have to talk about it. I want to start this video already complaining, because, man, it's no joke. The ticket price is expensive, and they still make it hard for the fans. That's not right, is it? That's not right. I'm always here either praising or criticizing, but man, I have to be 100% impartial here. And when there's a mistake, we have to point out an absurd mistake. Taking the Flamengo fan out of the final to give space to the rival fan, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. Now, on Saturday afternoon, Flamengo ended up giving a discount to the guests of the club members. That wasn't the case before, after thousands of club members bought full-price tickets for their guests. And there's this too. The former Flamengo presidential candidate, Walter Monteiro, posted, and to think that some people were out there making excuses, saying Flamengo couldn't give discounts because it was Fluminense's decision. That's not true at all, man. That's not true, okay? So even though it's Fluminense's turn to host, that only applies to protocol matters. When it comes to ticket sales, it's 50-50. So for Fluminense members, they did the following. Look at what Fluminense did. Just look at this craziness. Members with guests on their plan could buy up to 3 additional tickets at the same discounted price. Members without guests on their plan could buy their ticket at a discount and 2 additional tickets. Look at what Fluminense did for their fans. And then Flamengo was left empty-handed because they didn't have that. When tickets went on sale to the public, fans bought half-price tickets, and Fluminense fans were also purchasing at the same time. The mixed section, what a dirty trick, right? Why didn't it sell out? The tickets that were Flamengo's quota didn't sell out, so anyone who isn't a club member, since it opened to the general public, could buy. Do you need to prove you're a Flamengo member? You really don't have to, you know? So look, there was also something else on the Fluminense side. Besides free check-in and everything, former members could buy their ticket, plus 2 additional ones at full price, but with priority in purchasing. Sales opened on March 4th. For Flamengo, only the main members would get a 50% discount on the price. Guests would pay full price. Sales, as usual, opened in waves on March 4th, starting with the main members of the Nação 1 plan, then Nação 3, and so on. For example, in a simulation. Look, I'm Maraca 2 with a guest from the plan, my daughters, and the oldest one has her own plan and the other doesn't, and the other one doesn't like Maracana. I was only able to buy the ticket on Thursday night, the 5th. With the discount that club members have, I pay 139 reals per month. In March, Flamengo will play at Maracana 3 times, against Flu, Cruzeiro, and Remo. So 46 reals is the shared cost. It's explained here, but man, that's just how things are. Flamengo can make its money, but you just have to plan and prepare for a game like this. A loss, a decider, a championship final. It's the Carioca, but it's still a championship final. You have your fans there, and you shouldn't give the rival fans any advantage, and you should give the discount that's needed. You can make money too, but for God's sake, people, the tickets are already expensive. The demand then is low. It was really very low. While the general public wasn't allowed in, Fluminense chose to fill the stadium. Flamengo chose to maximize revenue, according to Walter Monteiro. Speaking of that, even though it's divided equally between the clubs, Flamengo chose to maximize revenue and still have a smaller audience. That's a shame, man. People are complaining about what's happening, Flamengo's supporter membership program, about not making it easier. So, man, there was a pricing error and a very important mistake that could decide the championship. God willing, it won't. God willing, we'll still have even more fans. Even with all this, we'll have more fans. But what's complicated is that we have here the update of, we just found out that 62,000 tickets have already been sold and that we should have 70,000 fans present. More than 62,000 tickets have been sold. We should reach around 70,000 people present. It's going to be a huge crowd, but there's a chance that right in the middle of the Fluminense fans, it could be even bigger because they had that cleverness I told you about, which they did, and they're not wrong. What can you do? Flamengo slipped up. Just remember that from 2020 until now, only in the 2024 edition did we not have the Fla-Flu duo competing because it was Flamengo and Nova Iguaçu. In all the others, Flamengo either won or lost to Fluminense, but then, for example, Flamengo won. Flamengo could now reach 4 titles over Fluminense in 6 years. In 6 finals they've played, Flamengo could win the 4th, making it 4-2. If Fluminense wins, it'll be 3-3 in 6 finals played in recent years. If Flamengo wins, it'll be 4-2. Flamengo won the Carioca championships in 2019, 2020, and 2021. In 2024 and 2025, they could win. They could win 6 Carioca championships out of the last 8 played. Flamengo reached all 8 recent Carioca finals. So it's important for us to bring this news, and man, Fluminense comes to this final with spending 4 times less than Flamengo. Flamengo has a much more expensive squad than Fluminense. Since 2019, when Flamengo started to dominate Brazilian football, the Fla-Flu has remained balanced. Even though Flamengo has won more finals against Fluminense and won more titles, many more titles than Fluminense, but there is still a balance in the derby. Flamengo wins more, obviously, but there is still a balance in the derby. Flamengo, for example, won 3 finals, while Fluminense won 2. Okay? So there is a financial gap between Flamengo and Fluminense, but it's still an extremely balanced derby, right? And we have, for example, just Flamengo, right, who won the Libertadores in 1922-25 and also reached the final in 21. Fluminense won the Libertadores in 23, okay? And Fluminense won the last 2 matches. So it's important for us to mention here that even though Flamengo has more wins in recent years and way more titles, and in finals they've won more than Fluminense. Fluminense is still the only team from Rio de Janeiro that's a thorn in Flamengo's side that still manages to win games. So it's really important for Flamengo to win this final, to get rid of the bad phase, to bring some calm to the early work of Leonardo, of Jardim. Leonardo Jardim needs this title to arrive calmly, to have peace of mind. It's really important, right, for the players to enter a new phase too, right? And we know that Flamengo won't be able to count on the king of the derbies. Flamengo doesn't have the king of the derbies. Okay, Bruno Henrique is still out, right? Leonardo Jardim doesn't have him, doesn't have Saul either. Pulgar and Arrascaeta return after missing the Carioca semifinal. Pulgar might end up being rested, right? We're waiting to see. It could be that Everton Araujo starts, okay? The probable lineup for Flamengo. There's Rossi, Varela, or Royal. I would go with Varela, Léo Ortiz, or Vitão, Leo Pereira, and Alexandro. Okay, I would go with Vitão and Danilo. Okay, Jorginho, Everton Araujo, right? Or Pulgar, Everton Araújo, or Pulgar, Jorginho and Paquetá, Carrascal or Arrascaeta, Cebolinha and Pedro. All right, then, a team that might come out differently. This information here, according to GE, okay, so Flamengo could come out like this against Fluminense. We also have the probable lineup for Fluminense with Germancano returning, right? And I'm going to bring here the probable lineup for Fluminense. Fabio, Samuel, Xavier, the twins, Freitas and René, Martinelli, Hercules and Acosta, Serna, Canobio, and John Kennedy. Okay, so we also have the probable lineup for Fluminense, but Cano is coming back, right? But he's not in the starting lineup. Okay, so here we have him being listed, see? It will be the Argentine's first game of the year, right? He had knee surgery on January 10th. Well, we're also bringing you the news that Fluminense might have Savarino as a new addition, right? Savarino sees the final as a special moment in his career, right? The Venezuelan could face Flamengo. He'll be on the field against Flamengo at 6 p.m. in the 6 p.m. match. So there's the possibility of Savarino facing Flamengo, right? We're bringing you all the information, okay? He's not in the probable lineup, according to GE, okay? He's not in Fluminense's probable lineup. Now, let me bring you this important information. That photo of Léo Ortiz surprised the fans in a good way, right? The Flamengo fans. Before the game, the match between Flamengo and Fluminense, we saw Léo Ortiz making a post, right, where he shows his fiance, right? It shows what shape the player is in. A lot of people used to talk, they like posting pictures of him overweight, eating pizza and junk food and all that. People making fun of Léo Ortiz, but look, it's no joke, huh? It's really no joke. The guy is ripped, man, really ripped, and that's his wife, right? Showing off his physique there in the photo with his fiance, right? Léo Ortiz there showing off his physique. He's in shape, right? In training too, we can see how Léo Ortiz is doing. He's lean. You can't say he's not in shape and all that. So he shows up next to his wife, Maite, right? Kind of working out there, right? So he was shirtless, right? Flexing his left bicep and showing off his defined abs. He stands out, right? So the fans were impressed, apologized, and joked, he's fat, right? Breathe out, Léo Ortiz. People have been on him so much that it's having an effect. Léo Ortiz's problem was never being overweight. His performance just dropped. People just have to accept that it was never about weight. We always said it wasn't about being overweight. I don't know who made that up. Man, saying that Léo Ortiz was fat, if you pay attention, you can see that Léo Ortiz isn't fat. Not at all. That's just nonsense, right? It's crazy to say that Léo Ortiz is fat, man. That's surreal. Well, look. So we have the Carioca final between Flamengo and Fluminense, making sure that the 8th consecutive state championship title will be won by these clubs. What do you think about that? Out of the last 8 finals, Flamengo and Fluminense were in all 8, okay? So, Flamengo was in all 8, but so was Fluminense. In the others, there was Nova Iguaçu and Fluminense, so there was only one final that didn't have them. Fluminense played against Nova Iguaçu. So it's a streak that matches the record achieved by the same teams between 37 and 44. Remembering that 44 there is Flamengo's 3rd championship in a row. Flamengo and Fluminense also stacked up 8 titles together with 4 for each side. God willing, this time it will be 4-2 for Flamengo. Okay, so man, it's important for us to talk about this, right? And show you that Flamengo has the chance once again to pull ahead and reach their 40th title, open up a 7-title lead over Fluminense, and keep their untouchable dominance, right? Look, we had Flamengo's training, the last training session. Flamengo released footage of their last training session before the final of the Carioca Championship. We can see footage released by Flamengo, look, of coach Leonardo Jardim, right? Giving instructions to the team. The players trained. You can see that the footage is from late afternoon, right? The players trained in the late afternoon and the practice started at 5 p.m. And now the players are staying at Ninho do Urubu. So the players sleep at Ninho do Urubu, wake up, get ready throughout the day, have lunch and everything else. and then they go to Maracanã to face Fluminense at 6 p.m., remembering that they entered the stadium and arrived at the locker room. Phones off, no cell phones allowed. That's the new rule from Coach Leonardo Jardim. Did you like it? Leave a comment. Here, I also want to invite you to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications by clicking the bell, and leave a cool like on the video. Once again, there you'll find the Black Diamonds jersey, Ferusa, right? The long sleeve Mengo jersey, lots of jerseys you can get on YouTube shopping. Thanks again for watching. Red and black greetings from Flamengo. Subscribe, support us, and like before you go. We're in this together. Thanks.